To-do lists are like the gateway drug to productivity. Ignore what you've been told. Finishing your to-do list is not the essential part. I want the best for you and I don't care how you get there. Hi friends, welcome to another video talking through how we can create our best lives. If you're new, I'm Korra. I run a network of niche content websites, and one of my websites, my very first, is korrashay.com, and on there I talk a lot about how to make your best life happen, and one of the key elements we focus on is productivity. And today we're gonna get into my favorite productivity tool. It is the easiest, it is the most attainable, but it's also the one that I think makes the biggest difference, and that is to-do lists. We are going to talk today about how to make better to-do lists. If you've seen any of my vlogs on here, you will know that I make a to-do list every single day for my daily activities, and I also make weekly, monthly, and annual to-do lists as well. I am a to-do list girly, and let me tell you, they have not let me down. But the thing is they can be as much help or as little help as you make them. And at the end of the day, that's going to be hyper specific to you, your routines, and your lifestyle, and your time management preferences. So we're gonna get into my steps, and for each tip, we're gonna be talking about how to customize them for your needs, your routines, and your lifestyles, because you cannot just copy my to-do list. That's not gonna work. I can't copy yours. It's not gonna work. You don't need a template. You need to learn how to make a to-do list that's going to help you be productive. It's gonna help you manage your time better. It's going to help you feel less overwhelmed and stressed out in this like incredibly chaotic world that we live in. So let's get into the tips. Tip number one, you need to determine the best place for your to-do list. Where is the best place for your to-do list? I like my daily to-do list on a legal pad. It needs to be long so I can break up things into different areas and have lots of room to write out little like thoughts as I'm making my to-do list. That's what works for me for my daily, but for weekly, which is a lot more task-based, I opt for the Notes app on my phone. Partly also because it does sync into my MacBook. So I want you to think about where could you put your to-do list that you're gonna see, you're gonna use it, and it's actually going to be a part of your routines. If you are a pen and paper person, do not feel like you have to go digital because some TikTok video told you that you have to. It is totally fine to stick to pen and paper. For me, there is nothing more satisfying than checking off something with a real pen on your to-do list. Amazing. Also, if you're somebody who's on the go a lot during the day, you are not going to be hauling a legal pad around, okay? Like, this is not logistical. It's not feasible. So you need to go digital. Do you work in a situation where you have a tablet with you most of the day? I know that's the case for a lot of teachers. Then that's probably where it should be. I would say that your phone is probably the most common place, but also if you work in a situation or have a life routines where you don't have your phone on you regularly, then that's not the right place for you. Again, this is going to be very specific to your needs. And there is no right, there is no wrong. Just think about where could you make this magical to-do list that is going to be easy for you to access throughout the day, and you're going to remember it. And that might also take some trial and error. You might try one way and realize that is just not right for you. That's totally okay. All right, tip number two is to make categories within your to-do list. Chances are you don't get to just do life tasks. You don't get just to do family tasks, home tasks, and certain work tasks, school tasks. Chances are you have a lot of things you need to do every day, and they fall under a lot of different categories. And when you intermix them, more than anything, it gets messy and it gets overwhelming. It also is hard to prioritize, and we're gonna talk more about that in a minute. And which categories apply to you, of course, like we talked about, are going to be customized to you and your life. For me, it's career and life. I just break it into the two. And then within career, I have promotional content and creating content categories. For life, I have things related to my house, and then everything else. It's going to depend on you. You might have different ones for academics. You could have things for health and fitness, side businesses, chores. If you have children, that's a whole nother ball game. Don't be afraid to get creative with your categories as well and see what works the best for you. All right, as promised, we need to talk about prioritizing, because if you are not prioritizing your to-do list, then it is just a list that exists but is not helping you be productive and efficient. I don't think that there is a need to overcomplicate the prioritization process, and I am going to be one of the time management obsessed people on here who does not overcomplicate prioritizing your to-do list, okay? Dump everything on, make your categories, put the tasks on that you know you need to get done that day, and then go through, start with number 1, and mark number 1, the most important task, 2, second most important task, etc. You need to do your little prioritization all the way down to number whatever, 30. And every single day as you do that on a daily to-do list, it's going to become more natural. It's to the point where I don't have to actually number them anymore, because I took time over the last about 2 years to really master my prioritization of my days. And I look through it and I see, okay, these are the things that you can't push back. There's no option of pushing back. Like, they have to be done that day. They have, whether that's because there's a deadline, because just like logistically, like there is points where you cannot wait to do laundry anymore. Okay, like it's just gotta get done. And eventually it'll start to feel a little bit like second nature. And if you are not somebody who regularly has or has ever had daily to-do lists, that might seem like, oh my God, Korra, my brain won't work like that. It will. It will. You can train your brain to do anything. Trust me. My next tip is to don't be afraid to add tasks throughout the day. I see people all the time who say, oh, well, I just don't feel like I got that much done. And I had so much on my to-do list, but I was busy all day. Was that because new tasks were popping up and you weren't adding them to your to-do list? And you're like, oh, Korra, I'm not going to complete a task and then add it to my to-do list just to check it off. That's obnoxious. No. That is keeping track of how you're spending your time. You're basically time logging your day there. It's showing you where your time is going in the day when you add those tasks in. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a more realistic picture of what you accomplished. Because if you are not getting a realistic idea of what you can and do accomplish in a day, you're not going to be able to boost your productivity. So there's nothing wrong with finishing an impromptu task and then checking it, adding it, and checking it off of your to-do list, okay? Don't let anyone tell you any differently. Tip 5, we're gonna get a little bit more into using to-do lists to really reformat your days to be as productive as possible. And that is through assigning time values to tasks. You know how many hours you have for that category, right? Like if you are making your to-do list for work, for that day, you work, say, a 9-hour day, maybe minus 30 or 45 minutes for your lunch break. We'll just round that all easily and say 8 hours, okay? So you have 8 hours left in the day. When you make your to-do list, it is so helpful to note how long you think each task is going to take you. And over time, like we were just talking about, this is going to get easier because your brain is going to start to notice, okay, that task always takes X amount of time. And it also gives you a good idea. If you think a task takes 20 minutes and then you're realizing, because you marked that it's gonna be 20 minutes and then you complete the task and it's actually 40 minutes, you know that for next time. And the reverse, honestly, in my opinion, is more common, where I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna take an hour. And then it takes 20 minutes. Assigning time values to tasks really helps you ensure that you are maximizing your day and also giving you a much better idea of where your time is going in the day. Next, we're gonna talk about balancing large and small tasks. So yes, we have prioritization of like say 1 through 30 of your tasks for that day. But if you do try to just plow out the top 5, and there are 5 big important tasks right away, you're gonna feel burnt out. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, what am I doing? And that's not gonna be very helpful now, is it? Balancing small tasks and large tasks allows you to give your brain little bits of reset before tackling the next big task. Prioritize your tasks, but also know that it is important to balance and not exert all of your energy immediately at the beginning of the day, because exerting all of your energy immediately at the beginning of the day is not setting you up for a full productive day. Tip number 7 is more related to those who have academic or career-based to-do lists that they're primarily focusing on now, and that is adding a deadline or a due date next to each item on your to-do list. Even if that is in the distance, keeping those deadlines and due dates visible on your to-do list is going to help keep your brain centered and focused on the right things. And here's the thing, if you have a lifestyle where you don't have assigned due dates, that's my situation. Being self-employed, I don't have very many assigned due dates. I do have some with brands and etc., but for the most part, I'm making my own deadlines. So I make those deadlines. Even if you don't have to have a deadline, this can be helpful too if you are, say, a stay-at-home parent and you're like, okay, like I need to do certain deep cleaning tasks. Assign due dates to them. Make it like a formal policy for your life and your lifestyle, and add those to your to-do list, and watch your to-do list become much more helpful for keeping you guided, focused, and on track. Tip number 8, make a rough draft the day before. I'm not gonna lie, I am always more motivated right before I go to bed to have an ambitious day the next day than I am when I wake up in the morning and I'm like groggily getting through my coffee. When you make your to-do list the day before, you do push yourself more. Maybe that's not the case for you, but from my personal experience, and that's all we can go with in life, right guys? To-do list the day before pushes you to become a more motivated version of yourself. Also, it is just so much easier on your morning routine to already have that done. And maybe you're someone who's like, no, I have to do it the morning of. That's fine. That's fine. Remember, what's what we're talking about here. You have to do what works for you. But if you've never tried doing your to-do list the night before and you tend to forget doing it the morning of, mornings in my experience tend to be the more chaotic routine compared to evening routines, then add it to your evening routine, try doing it. I take literally the 5 minutes before I go into the bedroom to start taking makeup off and beginning my actual like nighttime routine. That is the first thing I do, is I take 5 minutes to make my to-do list for the next day. Tip number 9, and this is our last one for this video, is we're gonna be talking about how you cannot be afraid to reevaluate your strategies. I think that we've touched on that throughout this video a little bit, but I want to emphasize once again, life changes. My life is nothing like it was even 2 years ago, much less 5, 10, okay, like when you get past that, like I'm back in high school, but your life changes. Your lifestyle changes, things happen that are completely unpredictable, your job changes, you start a family, you graduate school, whatever it may be, things change and you need to be willing and just like prepared that your to-do list style is going to have to evolve as your life evolves. Also, same thing with if you're in a rut, like you were feeling like you are not bettering yourself in any way, then there's a good chance that your to-do list is not pushing you hard enough and you need to reevaluate elements of it, whether or not you're not being ambitious enough, are you not prioritizing, are you not adding in tasks so you don't get a good idea of what your days are like, are you not assigning time values, are you not breaking it down so it's just one chunk. Look through your strategy if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, especially productivity or time management rut, and see what can I reevaluate because something isn't working right. And that is all for now, guys, but I do want to remind you to be patient and kind with yourself. We live in a world that expects a lot out of us and expects a lot of time for us to be like at our mental best. And I believe that we're all capable of a lot more than we think we are. But I also believe that we need to be patient and kind with ourselves as we build up those skills to allow us to manage our time better and to accomplish more in our days. If this video was helpful at all for you, which I really hope it was, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and ideally subscribe so you can see when I have new content. I'm doing quite a few of these videos every month where I talk through different topics from my website, specifically about making your best life happen. But I also vlog on here a couple times a week and I go behind the scenes of what my websites are like and what that's like running them and the just creating for a living, as well as general life updates. So just stay tuned. We got some fun life things and see how I balance all the things that are happening in my life and I put to use everything that I'm saying. I promise everything I'm preaching on here, I stand by fully, and I hope that we can learn from each other. All right, that is all for now. I hope you're having a wonderful day.